Click the subscribe button below to receive new videos as we release them. Hit the thumbs up button so others can find our content. For more information, visit thejerusalemassembly.org.
Let's get ready to ride. An Outlook by Ruben D. Garcia. Greetings, my beloved family of readers. I am excited to share with you all the following messages relevant to the published article recently sent to your email addresses. I hope you have taken time to read it, and now I am going to begin a series of vital information being disclosed to all of humanity. I am sure you have noticed, and some of you may have witnessed, that we, humanity, are going through some precarious emotional and somewhat discomforting scenarios affecting what was once thought to be a normal life. However, not just the month of October 2025 was a toast of party with events manipulating our conscience, but also affecting our foreseeable greater plans. Simply, my beloved family of readers, a race is about to begin in which you may desire to be a spectator but find yourself being an unwilling contestant nevertheless. In the discussion in the message of November 17th, I outlined a remark that there is in our lives a time when things can happen without our knowledge or consent. And that the month of December and well into the year 2026, there is to be an ambient of paradoxical times for all of humanity. In short, yes, there is to be instances in which events in our lives seem self-contradictory and absurd at the very least. I mentioned in this article that it was all because an unprecedented reality being upgraded through period of cosmic transformations, or as it will be known by many, an evolution. I also mentioned in the article of November 17th, that humanity will be by end of November, the Earth, our planet, would be affected by a series of cosmic energies having a great impact not only in the natural world but humanity also. Now, I am already aware that the disclosures of these cosmic peculiarities may seem boring, nonsense to many of you, but frankly, it is a natural expectancy to have such thoughts and inclinations, but as time takes its course into 2026, what you now may find to be preposterous or unbelievable will become a conversation of much interest to you and many others. There is a time and place for everything, and these upcoming events will make a believer of you by the end of the year 2026. I guarantee it. However, it is imperative that you can begin to give some credibility, even if it was but a passing thought, because just as a mighty oak begins from an acorn seed, so is truth from a rumor. The difference in considering the validity of the rumor or the person providing the information, and how reliable is the person. This function depends in your virtue of intuition, a process humanity has not, being very capable of understanding any less how to utilize its principles in a confusing environment. However, it has come the time to begin to utilize it, for your emotional balance will depend on it. And that is why I will share with you the messages I received. As I titled this article, "Let's Get Ready to Ride," because it is appropriate for what is yet to come. Keep in mind that the beginning of the cosmic energies begins along December 1st, 2025. The forerunner of the cosmic waves of energies of may not be affecting your emotional state during December's holidays, because you are going to be bombarded with a wide spectrum of jovial and happy surroundings. However, when the holiday fanfare of Christmas and New Year are seeing in the rear-view mirror of your life, you will begin to feel a sense of spiritual void, and in some cases a sense of isolation that was masquerading during the holiday season. Therefore, let's begin with understanding the basic three principles or crises you are going to possibly encounter in the year 2026, and how to deal with each with grace, certainty, and self-assurance. Since we are addressing cosmic energies, or in short term, our sun's behavior, which will be the one with the substantial impact in our lives on a daily basis, one must take into consideration that just because we have learned to take it for granted, our attitude toward its affect is in our daily basis regardless as irrelevant unless its behavior causes fears. Most often, humanity has no personal interest in what the sun does except for the science and scientists that study its nature. Thus, to give credence to what I am about to share with you, you must learn the nature of the sun. It does more than provide suntans, plants to grow, and of course give us light to see where we go. Simply, the sun is more than just a fireball millions of miles away, it is a being of immense impactful nature. Know this up front, the sun is alive. Oh, yes, The sun has been worshipped by our ancestors because they became very much aware of its influence not only in humanity's existence but also survivability. They understood that the sun travels our universe affecting just about every element or creature on our earth. It is a complex being, oh yes, many scientists regard the sun as a living entity of such magnitude worthy of respect and admiration. It is sad that for a common human, the sun is just that, a sun. However, that is to change during the year 2026 as the energies emanating from the sun, known as CME, coronal mass ejection, will be not only more prevalent but in greater magnitude, which brings to the core of my article. The sun, our sun, is a living being as mentioned above with a primary reminder that creates energies. These energies extend beyond our Earth and affects most of the adjacent planets to it, though three down-to-earth principles: frequency and vibration. Of course, it has, as I mentioned earlier, energies. These three elements are the ones that relevancy to our topic and our understanding of what will take place in 2026 and possibly beyond until the year 2033, when the fifth cycle of not only Earth last transformation took place ends in 2033. But that topic is for another time. The importance is that we, humans, relates in all of our surroundings to frequency and vibrations. For example, a common feature in our houses is electricity that is available 24 hours. When the sun emits a CME and is toward the earth, an intense one, as it is expected in 2026, can disrupt our precarious electrical system worldwide. It can cause massive disruptions in all aspects of our lives. Humanity has only experienced this fatal occurrence in the 19th century. However, our current system is inadequate and overloaded to capacity. Any solar energy of a classification labeled colossal can put our worldwide existence in a panic mode as one never experienced in all of humanity's existence. The product of such solar disruption is short of devastating. Can it happen? Absolutely. That is the message of this article. The journey to recover from it, well, not even Hollywood could fathom its impact. But it is not only the cosmic energies from the sun I wish to convey here with today, because it more than just the sun. They are other implicative energies according to the messages received in the year 1987 and outlined in the published novel, God's Chosen Ones, that I will linger up to the year 2040 when a new technology would be available replacing this antiquated one to humanity. The journey through this foreseen eventful period can be sustained with preparations and understanding of how not only the sun operates but our natural existence and the much needed supportive factors that make our lives livable. Daily we are surrounded by an enormous amount of energies, frequencies, and vibrations. Our body is a marvelous machine that encompasses all three elements. The fact that we don't recognize them is because we have taken it for granted, as we have done with our sun. The vibrations and frequencies affect positively our cognitive spectrum. Our thoughts are a series of electrical impulses along with energies that allows us to rationalize our environment, and yet most of us are oblivious to what happened if there was to be a disruption in that process. These energies are here to transform an old spectrum known as the third dimension, which happens to be a holographic reality pulsating at specific cosmic level environmental frequency. Simply stating, we live in a confined reality of time, vibration, and a realism that moves in cycles, frequency, giving us the impression of steadiness. Supposedly, the cosmic energies of December and through the year 2026 is to transform, modify, and upgrade our holographic third reality into one of a higher vibration and dimensional frequency. Simply putting it is, third-dimensional humanity will be ascending, rising, evolving, transforming into a higher fifth-dimensional reality in which the current consciousness you have become so costumed and adapted to exist within is totally controlled by what you have known as the ego force. It will be substituted by a high and phenomenal fifth dimension, and it is going to be at the center stage of humanity's evolution in a consciousness of such degree of power that the negative energies you have become so familiar and powered by the ego force with its negative and manipulating emotions will no longer be applicable in such fifth-dimensional Earth. This is the purpose of these cosmic energies gearing to strike our Earth, affecting all of nature, but the point and objective of it all is for us, humanity. Thus, I am sure you are now becoming interested in how it will affect our way of thinking or how you need to adhere or function when the energies arrived. Well, let's first share with you the core of this Earth ascension and of course, humanity's. As mentioned earlier, the third dimension you and I have experienced for thousands of years will disappear, for it cannot exist as the Earth is in its ascension process to a new Earth. The old Earth as it was shared during meditation is dying slowly, dwindling down to exist no more, and a new one of a higher consciousness has been prepared since the year 2012 through the various cosmic energies since then. Its purposes was and is solely to bring in or enact a consciousness taught and given emphasis almost 2000 years ago, in which three virtues we had our disposal to entertain a divine existence. It is called Christ consciousness. Yes, my readers. We have existed under a somewhat non-Christ consciousness governed by self-integrated existence. What you were taught and what you believe to be a self-will or individuality will not adhere to the new consciousness to reign throughout a new Earth of a fifth-dimensional reality. This divine process has for emphasis to make known to you an awareness of such divine impact in all of humanity through the cosmic energies affecting your current third reality existence. It is these events caused by the various energies interacting between the frequencies and vibrations at a higher rate that you and I will be experiencing throughout the days ahead. They will affect physical, mental, and spiritual conscious attitudes. The relentless conscience of the ego force you have maintained most of your life will be given the opportunity to change to a higher one, in which the three integral component of forgiveness, compassion, and love are an integral and essential aspect in what every human being will be confronted with. All of us will be given the opportunity to experience and apply the corresponding divine virtue to the occasion that warrants such virtue. In short, humanity, every single human being will be exposed to situations warranting choosing from one of these three. However, I expect that at the onset of it all, for many the energies will be mere physical discomforts that I will outline at the next article. But, in all, to be honest, I believe the year 2026 will be like an appetizer to a more formal dinner. What I mean is that, at the beginning, most of humanity may see it as consequential but passing through situations given little care attention until it affects their cognitive comfort supported by an overindulged ego force. However, I strongly believe that will be the period to separate the believers from the non-believers. It is my spiritual hope that, yes, some will see the truth and light of this conscience changes, but it will minimal in opposite of the large number will not contemplate such visions because they will be obscured by the ego desire to rule over all and not the soul as it has done for millennia. My advice? The early you recognize the need to reform your egotistic mundane earth and your life, the quicker I believe you will understand the purpose of the emerging energies directed by the divine forum and the great infinite source, God, our Father and Creator. Remember this, my beloved family and dearest readers, you were created with a virtue no other creature or being possess in the whole galaxy, and that one thing is what separates you apart from them all, free will. And that is what will be put to the test incessantly the weeks and months ahead. The choice is yours. All things will come to pass. Be like the caterpillar and the butterfly transformation process. Keep also this in mind throughout daily existence. A beautiful, peaceful and divine new earth waits you as a divine reward through the divine virtues of forgiveness, compassion, and love you will contemplate from now until the divine and the universe sees it completed. As it has been, it is, and it shall be. Peace and love of the great source be to all of you.